you want to do the intro or you want me to do it? I got it.
What's going...
Oh. You can do it.
Want to do it at the same time, maybe?
No.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Actually Good Coffee podcast, where we talk about things going on in the world of coffee or things that are related to business in the coffee world, all while sometimes we drink a cup of coffee. Today it is matcha.
Today's episode, we're going to be talking about a recent offer that we received. And although this is a joint decision, you're going to be asking the questions and then I'll just answer them. So I'll be speaking on both of our behalfs. But yeah, you're basically going to be asking me questions about this acquisition because we're still in the process of it and figuring out whether this is the right move for Maiden, figuring out just how much equity would be purchased, what kind of deal this would be, what are some of the key factors that are involved, just to give people a general background or understanding of what this process would look like if they own a business and are getting an offer from a larger company, because this is like a $150 million company that made us this offer, which sounds like big, but I don't know, when you go through this process you start to realize that like there's it's all about perspective, and $150 million seems very large to a roastery that does less than $1 million in revenue a year, but in the grand scheme of things it's not all that insane. So we're not going to use any specific names or names of people. We're going to keep things pretty broad so that we don't get too deep into specifics, but again, just talking about the process overall so that all of you can have a good understanding of what to expect and maybe some things that you might have forgotten if you're also getting an offer like we are. So
can I add something?
Yeah.
It's also like not over, like we're still in the middle, the thick of it, like no decision has been made.
Yeah
Only like really one offer has been made. Still, like I feel like a few more meetings and calls left of discussion.
Yeah, I mean, we literally have a call in an hour with them, so this is why we're doing this now.
So it's not over yet, and like this situation may change, by tomorrow.
Yep.
But for now, this is where we are in this like present moment.
Yeah.
So.
All right, so let's get into it.
Can you tell me how the opportunity to sell a part of the business first came about?
Yeah, it was a person that I knew that was a friend of a friend, which again sounds very vague, but I don't want to be too specific. That we connected on LinkedIn, and then we found out we were working in the same industry. We had him come over for a tasting and kind of showed him our operation. And then soon after, they let us know that they were starting this new company or this new venture, and they're looking for people that had our expertise. So they got us in touch with the president of their company, gave us the rundown, and we're currently going through all of that right now. So I think that answers the question.
Yes. Do you want to real quick pause this and then make sure the air before we go to the whole interview is... What were your initial thoughts or hesitation?
It's all right.
Oh my God.
You got it.
What were your initial thoughts or hesitations when you first learned that this larger company was interested in buying into Maiden?
At first, it felt great. I thought I was the shit. But that lasts for maybe a couple hours or a day at most. And almost immediately, I just started to feel this like overwhelming sense of urgency and figuring out. Well, actually, I'll tell you what happened. So we were going for a walk with the baby, and I was kind of like freaking out and just talking about how stressful work is, and like doing the typical like quarterly report with you, just talking about how hard everything is. And we were dealing with stuff with the baby too we've been going through a while, and it just felt like everything was kind of like coming and crashing down on me because it didn't feel like we were making any progress anywhere, and I was being really impatient and going insane. And well, I mean, we prayed about it, which again, like, I'm not trying to force this onto anyone, but this is just like our beliefs. Like, we prayed about it. They basically was like, I wish God would just show me, like, what I'm supposed to do. Like, I wish he would just show me what it is.
Weren't you conflicted because you were just stressed with work? And I think you said on the phone to me, you were like, I pray every day that if I'm supposed to just sell this, because nothing was like working out for a little bit, a lot of things kept like falling through.
Yeah.
And you were like, if I'm supposed to sell this, like, God, then just show me, then have someone come and want to buy this. And then like literally the next week a company reached out and wanted to buy it. And you were like,
no, it was the next day.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like, I said, you know, I feel like I just want to do what God wants me to do, is what I was saying. I was like, I just want to do, like, I don't care what it is. Like, I don't care about the title that I have. I don't care that, like, I own my own business. I just want to do what God wants me to do. Like, if God wants me to sell this thing tomorrow, I would do it. And then the next morning I got the email from the guy and was like, hey, we're interested in buying your company. And I was like, oh shit. So that's how it went. So those are my thoughts. It was just like shock, because that never really happened with me. I never really like experienced a situation where I was like, God, give me a sign, and then something like that happened. And then I kind of just went through the whole process, and at first I was like, I have to do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. And then I kind of went through the numbers and was like, man, actually, like, we're doing pretty well, and like our growth is great. We're growing by 50% this year, revenue. Our profit isn't really growing the same way proportionally, but that's just because green coffee costs are up an astronomical amount this year, but we're still growing really well. And I don't know, like, that's been my biggest struggle, I think, or like our biggest struggle, actually, because it's like, are we going against what God wants us to do, or did he do this so that we can look and finally like sit down and look at our numbers and realize that, like, oh, we're actually doing really well and it's not as bad as we thought, and like I don't have any reason to complain anymore because things are going good. Not incredible, but better than I thought. So that's sort of like the headspace that I'm in. Anything else?
I was gonna like add a question that's not here, but I think I'll just stick to this.
No, that's all right. You can add it.
Well, I was gonna say, well, now that was your initial thought, and now are you any closer to leaning to either way, or you're still unsure?
I mean, I think I want to keep, like, I think it's tough to say, right? Because, like, if they took 20% equity and they injected, like, $200,000 into the company, that would take us to the next step, like our next upgrade, which would be, like, a new roaster, getting into a new facility, having the capacity. Because right now we're capped out in the space that we're in. Like, we have no room. It's, like, almost impossible to bring on another client because we can't even afford the space. So it's like, what do you do here, right? Basically, you have to raise prices. That's the only option. And some clients will probably drop off because it gets too expensive for them, and that's totally fine. Like, their priority is that, you know, they have to have a cost-effective product. And, you know, some of the ones and the other ones that are like more aligned with our goals stay on, and those alternatively become the more ideal clients that we're looking for, because it's like, here is our goal. We have to stick to our mission of providing an exceptional product through sustainable methods. And part of doing that is like paying some premiums for our green coffee, because we have to pay the guys that are making our product. Like, we have to pay them a livable wage. That's part of what we're doing. Like, we're going to be getting a sustainability certification in the next year, or at least an organic cert in the next year, and then sustainability 2 years. So this is what we have to do. Like, we have to charge more for our product. It's not like we're rolling in dough. Like, we're just getting by. Like, we're just paying bills. And we have the baby now, and we have to pay for everything that's associated with that. It's like, we just have to cover our expenses. So what was your question?
Well, as you're talking, you're like answering other questions. Like, one question is, what factors made you even consider selling a portion of your business rather than keeping full control? And I think you answered it when you said,
I'll tell you what factors. I feel
you
like
already said it.
What?
I think you said it. I don't think you need to say it again.
I'm going insane.
That you're running out of space. You can't take on new clients. Your only option is to raise prices, and that comes with its own downfalls. And now that you have a family, you know, it's just something for you to consider, because it's like, oh, is this better? Like, would I be stupid to not take this? Like, these are just your thoughts. So,
I mean, it's scary. Like, it's really scary to do this, and having this veteran company come in and say, like, you know, this is our new we want you, and we'll buy your part of your company or all of your company in order to do that. And it's like, well, we have guys that I want a part of the operation. And it's like, okay, so then that eliminates the full purchase opportunity. It would only be an equity. And then is it majority? Is it minority stake? There are other things that are riding on this now. And part of that is like determining what option is the best for our future and Isaiah, and figuring out, like, how do we get on the right path to that, the most effective path to where we would like to be. And maybe this injection of capital now could speed that process up, even if that means that they take a percentage of the profits of this company in the long run.
So one question is, how did you determine whether this was a serious opportunity versus just a potential distraction? I feel like you kind of already answered that. Like, this is serious because it could... Okay, go.
Sorry, do you want to say it?
No, I just felt like you answered it, but if you don't feel like that, then say more.
Well, originally it felt like a distraction. And I was like, I can't do this. I can't dedicate more time to, like, talking to my attorney and talking to other people because it's distracting me from
getting the numbers and sending them over.
Yeah.
They needed.
Yeah, and getting an NDA together and having them sign off on it. And, you know, because I was like, I have to focus on Maiden. Like, I don't have enough time in my day to focus on this other thing that might not even work out. So originally I was like, hey, this isn't the case. And then this is what I'll say. We had a client that that we have to raise prices on, and they're one of our bigger ones. So I went out and visited them. I let them know this is the deal. Like, we have to do this, and we value them as a client, which is why I came out there and looked to negotiate with them on, like, what's realistic for them and also what's realistic for us, and say, like, this is what we got to do. And they started shopping around to other companies, and the person that I connected with on LinkedIn reached out to me and told me their sales team was communicating with them and they think they're going to acquire them as a client. So that's obviously scary, but it's like, when you sit down and you think about it for a while, it's like, this was going to happen. You planned for this, or we planned for this. You know, like, we were going to lose 5 to 8% of our clients in raising our prices by 10%. But even in doing that, we're still making better profit, and we also have more time to reinvest back into what we can offer our clients that remain, and sweeten this deal a little bit and give them more to offer with what we're able to provide them.
Yeah. Like, also, like, not for nothing, like, I feel like then let that client go.
Right.
Because, like, they were, I think, out of everyone, they were still getting the cheapest deal.
Yeah.
A deal that was made, what, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
Yeah, it was before we even came into Maiden.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Like, you were going to have to raise it regardless, and it wasn't outrageous for you to raise it, because everyone has to raise prices. But I think even if this wasn't going on, you'd have to raise their prices, because it's from 4 years ago. And things changed.
This had nothing to do with the deal. Like, this was what we were going to do the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, we have to do this. But
they just happened to reach out to a company that might buy you and ask if they could,
Right. So then he reached out to me and was like, hey, this is going to happen. Maybe you should have one more conversation with us.
Which is happening in 20 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah.
Okay, so how did you evaluate whether the buyer's valuation of your business was fair?
What?
Let's try and...
Why, you gotta go?
No, you gotta go.
No, it's fine. I'll take it in the car. How do I think it's fair?
No. How did you evaluate what they were offering, if that was fair?
It's not fair. No. It never really got to that point. Like, we were always just in talks. It was very, like, loose conversations. The president is busy all the time.
Well, they gave you, like, a loose deal. It said, we want you as an employee.
This is what I'll say.
And basically,
I don't even want to go too deep into the deal, because, like, I don't know if that's going to conflict with any laws. But, like, they what they offered was very nominal, and that to me is like, okay, you guys want somebody that's like retiring and wants to get out and has some like veteran experience in the company. Like that's not us. Like we're young, we're still like really involved in this, and we want this to succeed really well. Like we're not just gonna roll over and like take whatever we can get because times are tough right now. Like when we came into this, times were difficult. So
you also evaluated it not from like a present standpoint, but from the future. Like, I don't know if you want to say the exact number, but you did the numbers, and Maiden is going to make, you said, at least this much in 4 years, and it was a larger number than you thought about, and then you thought like, well, what they're offering then is kind of not fair because I could make that for like 4 times back.
Yeah, like
if I stick with Maiden.
Exactly.
Next question. Well, you kind of answered this. Were there specific metrics or advisors that you leaned on during this process?
Yeah, my accountant and my attorney. Which my accountant, by the way, get a good accountant. Get one that answers your phone calls, because mine does not answer my phone calls. I'm just kidding. No, but get a good accountant, and then he put me in touch with an attorney.
Did you negotiate equity percentages, earnouts, performance-based incentives?
That's what we're going to do, pretty much. That's what we're going to find out. Like, the way that they've worded it to me is like, we've done this 1,000 times, or we've worked with 1,000 people like yourself before. So I have to understand what it is that they're going to be offering me in a general scope, not just, they want to see our information, they want to see our sales information, and like, unfortunately some of the things that people consider like secrets in this industry, which they kind of are, but we never really got to that point where we were discussing specifics, because even from a broad view, it didn't seem like the right fit for us.
Have you decided what was non-negotiable?
You.
How transparent was the larger company about their goals?
Pretty transparent. Their goal was growth, and that's why they wanted me.
If you do let them take a stake percentage, whatever, of the company, how are you going to make sure that our mission won't be diluted?
I mean, I think the most glaring, obvious one is like majority or minority stake, because some people that do this only want majority stake, and if they don't, it's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then this isn't going to work, and that's fine.
Are they expecting you to stay involved operationally, or are they more interested in ownership and brand positioning?
Oh, I think they've made it clear that like the reason that they're doing this deal is because they wanted me on their team. So I think they could care less about Maiden, to be honest with you. It's just a way to like give me a lump sum of money up front.
Have you explored alternative scenarios during this time, like taking on an investor, raising capital, a strategic partnership instead of just selling equity?
Yeah, basically, like, for anyone else that's like in a similar position like this, just understand that you don't need somebody to buy a portion of your company in order to get this injection of capital. Like, you can go and get a loan out from a bank where there's no sort of stipulations or exclusive rights that they get in the deal, where, you have to sort of do things the way that they want you to. And I think that's I don't know if it's that obvious to people, because it wasn't that obvious to me. Like, you can get loans at a very low percentage interest rate when you get to a certain point in business, and that's part of what makes it so difficult. Is that the owner? He
looked into the car, so I smiled, and he smiled back. I don't know if he saw you because you're facing away. He was like, and I was like, I was thinking, what a nice jacket, and then I saw his face, and I was like, that's his own jacket.
That makes sense. It's so hot in here, dude.
I know, put the air back.
I think the air's going to mess the audio up.
Guys, we're putting on the air. It's hot, okay? Deal with it.
Yeah. That's what we tell the president when we hop on the phone. Deal with that.
If you decide...
Did we answer the question?
Oh,
what was the question? Bro, you wanted to do this.
I thought these are only 8 minutes.
No, these ones are longer.
I said, did you explore alternative scenarios?
Yes,
instead of just selling equity?
Yeah.
And,
We did. We did explore alternative scenarios. And we talked to other people.
Are.
Yeah, we still
not
are.
over.
Still are, baby. We're there.
Okay. If you decide not to sell, what is the growth strategy instead? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Meaning, like, if you don't sell, now these people are out of the picture, what is your...
Yeah, I mean...
your next step then to... without the little help from them?
The reality is like...
Raise prices. You kind of said it already.
No. The growth strategy is like... Yeah, it's raise prices. But overall, it's like, what are your alternatives? It's like, you either take this investment and grow quicker, or you don't, and then it takes longer for you to get to where you want to be with a potential...
Make an OnlyFans.
...higher outcome.
What scenarios did you model out to see how the different levels of ownership would affect you financially and strategically 3 to 5 years?
What scenarios? What did you say?
What are like the different scenarios that you thought of in your head? Like, okay, if I gave them 20%, then this would be the scenario 3 years from now.
Yeah.
If I only give them this, then this would be the scenario 3 years from now.
I'll make it really simple. The amount of money that we can make in 5 years with them, we would be able to make in 2 years. But we're also giving up a portion of the company, which is like...
risky, and also a lot of people like Maiden because it's like a small grocery. So when it's like another one of those like law clone situations that gets bought out by the bigger guy, it's annoying.
It's like every coffee.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yes. Okay. Are there any red flags that help you gauge whether or not this is a good long-term benefit or not? Long-term fit.
I don't... Specific red flags?
I can maybe answer that. I feel like at first there wasn't, but then when you talk to your attorney, just because she's usually on the other side of these, and she's with the bigger company, she kind of pointed out the red flags. Like, no, you deserve more. Or, no, they're saying this because they know that you don't know this. Or, like, she kind of, like, just gave you a little deeper insight to, like, they know what they're doing, whether or not, like, they're good-hearted people or not saying they're bad or evil or anything like that.
There's always red flags.
Yeah.
There's always going to be red flags no matter what deal you ever do with anyone.
Everyone's looking out for themselves. So
and a good way to do that is to either talk to somebody who's done something similar that you've done, or you hire an attorney.
Did you tell anyone yet? Did you tell any of the employees yet?
Yeah, I mentioned it. I mean, basically it was like, I said that I wasn't going to do this because they were originally, it was like this thing where they buy the whole company, and that just didn't make sense. So now it's like, are they willing to just do a minority stake, minority equity, however you want to say it?
Looking back, what do you think you've done right so far? So it's not over yet. That's why I realized this question right and weird. So far, looking back, because this has been like a 2-month long process, I would say, since we're at like 2 months right now.
Yeah.
What did you do right so far?
I didn't, I basically approached it honestly and genuinely, and I heard what they had to say, and I didn't give them an immediate answer, and I tried to be as respectful as possible and just let them know what I was feeling. Again, if I had more of a that's what I did right. So.
I think also you also reached out to the right people. Like, you have a good support system of people who can give you good answers.
For sure.
More insight.
Yeah. Okay,
what do you wish you would have known beforehand or would have done differently when entering this negotiation?
I don't know, because it's like, that question is like, you always could wish you knew more. And I think that, like, I would just say, if anyone is going through this, or like when we go through this again, just understand, like, this isn't the only offer you'll ever get in your life. There are going to be more offers, especially if your business is successful, and the more success that you bring with it, the more offers that you're going to get. So just understanding that this isn't like the only opportunity you'll ever have, and try to understand your self-worth, and just try to have a realistic understanding of everything, of your business, of what the offer is going to be. And man, what's something more practical that I could say? I have a difficult time with confidence. So I wish I had more confidence, but the only way you get more confidence is by doing this more. And this is the first time I'm ever doing this.
How will selling a portion of your company, if you do, affect your long-term goals personally and professionally? First thing I think of is even like the tin can thing and the Anthony Ferraro, if you aren't announcing that yet.
Yeah, it's all right.
Like little things like that, like they might not.
Well, I don't know. Like, so the thing with the minority stake is that, like, basically they're just an investor at that point. And we can still do really whatever we want because they only have a minority of the company. And if that could get us to our goal quicker, then that's a good thing, right? Like, if we could give what people are looking for when they buy our product quicker than a few years from now, then that's great. And everybody wins at that point. And maybe we could do it for a cheaper price for them. But, you know, part of the reason that our prices are so expensive is because everything is so insane right now. And part of having this, you know, 1,000-pound gorilla as a part of the team now is that, like, we have a little bit more of a cushion and we have support in doing what we want to do. And maybe that would speed things up a lot quicker.
Okay, so these are some extra questions for some deeper insight that might come up. I think this is a good one. How did you protect confidential business data during exploratory talks?
I didn't show them. You know what I shouldn't have done? I sent them my P&Ls. I shouldn't have done that. I should have gotten an NDA before I did that. So don't do anything until you get an NDA, a bilateral NDA.
Do you experience founder's remorse? Well, you're not a founder, so maybe just like owner's remorse at any stage of this process?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just feel like you're betraying people to a degree. It's like you talk to people you know and they get like disappointed in you, but at the same time, it's like you were never a part of this. Like, how are you going to get upset at me for doing what I think is right with this company as if you were the one that would spend all of this time working on this company that you could have been spending with your family? Like, you chose to spend it with your family or whatever. It's like, you know, yeah, I would say I definitely feel that, but it's like once you start to really try to understand the situation better and know the other person that's asking you this and just understand that, like, wait a second, I've worked my ass off. I still work my ass off. Nobody can really sympathize with me in the same way because they're not doing what I'm doing.
Okay, last question is, if someone in your position was approached by a larger company today, what is the very first piece of advice you'd give them?
I would just say, like, what's your end goal? How much money do you want to make? Where do you want to live? What hobbies do you want to have? How many kids do you want? How many vacations do you want to take a year? Be as specific as possible of exactly the life you want to have and find out what is going to get you there the quickest. And that's the decision you should choose.
I think also just get an attorney because you need it, unfortunately, for these things.
Yeah, get an attorney too.
Because if you're not...
But I mean, from like a more personal perspective, what kind of life do you actually want to have? You don't, like, everyone wants to make $1 million, but, like, is that actually how much money you want to make? Do you know how much work that's going to take? How long is it going to take you to get there on your current path? Be as specific as possible with what you want in life and what you want to do, what kind of lifestyle you want, and write it down and figure out what is going to get you there the quickest. That's what I would do.
Okay, so in 9 minutes,
cool.
Big conversation's gonna happen. Maybe it'll end in we keep it Maiden for life. Maybe it'll end in we're still keeping it, but so is someone else. Maybe it'll end in who knows. You know, time will tell. Life is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
It's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone for listening. Talk to you again very soon.